Is the housing market broken? It's an interesting question, isn't it? Because when you look at all of the predictions that were made at the end of last year, things haven't exactly played out as expected. So the question is, why is that? And it's interesting because I came across a great article in Business Insider magazine this past week that I wanted to share with you now because it goes into exactly that. Hi, this is Andrew with the Andrew Smith team, eXp Realty in Frisco, Texas. And as I mentioned, I wanted to share this article with you because it actually asks the question, is the housing market broken? And I think we can all agree that to a certain extent, we're in kind of a state of limbo. I mean, the expectations at the end of 2022 was that everything would come tumbling down, that the market was due for a huge correction. You know, it would make 2008 look minor compared to what was going on now. And that just hasn't been the case. And most of the experts out there are saying that that won't be the case. So why is that? And what does it mean to you if you're considering buying or selling a home? So I'm going to share my screen with you and bring up this article and kind of just run through a few of the main features with you. All right, so as you can see, here it is. I've got Business Insider. I've got this article. And the person that brings this up is top economist Mohammed El-Erian. And he is the top economic advisor for Allianz. And he basically says the U.S. housing market may be broken. And the Federal Reserve's aggressive interest rate hiking cycle over the past year could be to blame. So without a doubt, we know that home prices have become unaffordable. They were going up and up and up. We had bidding wars. We had all of that stuff going on. And then we saw the most aggressive increase in rates that we had ever seen. And as a result, mortgage rates more than doubled, which froze the market to a certain extent, but only for a short period of time. Once buyers had kind of adjusted to that new normal, so to speak, things actually kept moving and prices didn't come down the way people thought they would. Yes, here in Frisco and the surrounding areas, we did see price declines last fall, but we've actually recovered the majority of those already here in 2023. So when we go back to what Mohammed has to say, he said high rates have frozen the housing market over the past year by crimping both supply and demand. Many prospective buyers are priced out of the market due to the higher costs of borrowing, but existing homeowners have been discouraged from putting their properties up for sale, as why are they going to trade their ultra low 3% mortgage rate for a new one at 7%? And that has kept prices elevated even as demand slips. So as a result, the housing market is in a state of limbo, and he's expecting that it will stay that way until mortgage rates fall back. Now, I'd love to get your opinion. What do you think on this? I mean, I've put a couple of videos out on this. I put one in the, link to one in the description below that I just did in the past week, but I'd love to get your feedback. Comment below. Where do you think this is heading? I've got my own thoughts, and I think a lot of it is going to depend where in the country you actually live, as different areas are going to be impacted more than others. And for his part, Mohammed, that is, he's been, pretty critical of what the Fed has been doing. But at the same point in time, the Fed have wanted to make sure that we don't have a sudden huge uptick in inflation once again, which would not be good for the economy overall. So one of the challenges that we face with that is, like we just said, we're stuck between supply and demand. Now, we have an advantage here in the Frisco area that new construction is bringing much needed supply to the marketplace. We have obviously a lot of new development going on here that we don't in other areas of the country, but that also brings about some challenges. There's only so much land available. And as you know, Frisco before too long is going to be built out. We've got only a couple of big developments remaining. Prosper has been seeing tremendous growth. And then you've got Salina that's booming. In fact, Salina is going to be bigger than Frisco when it's actually built out. But the challenge with that right now is you've got many people that don't necessarily want to move out into those other areas. They want to stay in Plano, in Frisco, and they're not having a whole lot of options besides new construction, as the resale homes just aren't there. So what Mohammed said at the end of his article there, and which I agree with, is in order to unstick the housing market, if you like, we need to see mortgage rates come down in a meaningful way. They've got to get down to the point where existing homeowners that have a 3.5% mortgage, the rate is low enough for them to actually go ahead and make that move. That will help bring more inventory to the market for the people that aren't looking at or don't want to go where the new construction is. At the same point in time, we are going to rely on that new construction right now because it's really the biggest source of supply that we have. And the builders know that mortgage rates are the key to more sales, and many of them are offering substantial incentives in forms of closing costs that can be used to buy the mortgage interest rate down and make that home more affordable. So again, I'd love to know what you think about where this market is heading. Put it in the comments below. And if you want to get updated on things like this and what's going on in Frisco real estate and the surrounding markets, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell icon. I put new material out each and every week to keep you informed, with the hope that you can make the best decision for you and your family. And if you have any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can always call or text me at 469-296-5230, or feel free to send me an email at andrew@theandrewsmithteam.com.